Hey everybody, my name's Maria Ryan, and this is the Doggone Positive Way. Today we're covering Hurricane Milton that is barreling towards the Gulf Coast of Florida. So we're just going to get right into it. I kind of wanted to remind you guys that 11 days ago, roughly, maybe a little bit more, a couple days more, was Helene. That was 100 miles or more off the coast of Tampa Bay area in the Gulf Coast. So I don't want you guys to forget that. This is what the bridge, one of the bridges, is like. Look at this water. This is the Howard Franklin Bridge versus Tampa, connecting St. Pete and Clearwater to Tampa. Okay, that's freaking crazy. And again, that was with a storm, Helene, that was well off the coast of Florida. So that's all I'm going to show you on that. I wanted to share this with you. These are some live cameras, live stream events. I just did a search on YouTube for live Florida cameras, and this came up. And I like this because it is showing I-4, I-75. We've got Key West here, this famous landmark here in Key West. But this is the storm, you guys. This storm is, I'm hoping this is sharing. Yes, it is. This storm is gigantic. It is definitely huge. And they're saying that, um, it may hit as a category 3. It went from a tropical storm to category 1 to category 5 for a while. I think it's still category 5, and it's going to go down to a 4 and supposedly hit land on the Gulf Coast, Tampa Bay area, at a 3. But I mean, now we're just splitting hairs because that's like a crazy amount of wind. All right. So leave, just freaking leave. Pinellas County is pretty low lying. So is Tampa Bay, or Tampa, Hillsborough County. Lots of it is. And we've got a warning for Tampa Bay, actually, Pinellas County A, B, and C zones. A zone is like the barrier islands and on the Gulf Boulevard side, right? And then you've got B, which may be some parts of that are up a little bit more. And then over the bridge, the little drawbridges that go over from the barrier island to the mainland. And then further in, that's C, is even much further in land. So I mean, for me, I'm not messing around. I would go. That's just me. Okay. But if somebody in authority is telling me A, B, and C, I'm out of there. I don't care. I'm out. Okay. And I just want you guys to also be aware that if you have any medications, any prescriptions, you can pick them up earlier because of the state of emergency that the governor put down for Florida days ago. So don't forget that. You still have time to get any prescriptions that your pets need if your vet offices are open. Hopefully they're still open for a little while this morning. Some are closing earlier. ID is important. ID for you, like your license, your dog's rabies vaccination. That's the only vaccine that is legally required, is a rabies vaccine. I hope you guys got your pets whatchamacallit, microchipped, because if for whatever reason something happens and your pet escapes, they have a microchip. Food and water. When you evacuate, you need to bring your hurricane kit with you. Your hurricane kit isn't just for you to have in your house if you lose power, but if you need to go to a shelter, whether it's a special needs shelter or a regular shelter or a hotel or wherever, take your stuff with you. You're going to need food and water. for, they say at least 3 days. I'm all like, no. When there was a hurricane that hit here, I can't remember, it was probably about 7 years ago, and we were out of power for 2 weeks, and that was not a direct hit. So, yeah, you need to have enough food and water for at least a week. Water is like a gallon a day per person. Think about that for your pets, especially if we are feeding our pets now dry food or even a dehydrated food where you're adding water. Your pet is still gonna increase their water intake. And I'm talking about those of us who are raw feeders. We have canned chicken, we have canned tuna, I've got canned sardines, etc. for Troy, but I do also have some dry food because, I don't know how long we would be out for. And it's just me. I'm just like, I want to be prepared for everything. Okay. Um, I also want to let you guys know that all the hotels and motels will accept your pets. That's something that is done during a state of emergency, at least in Florida. Okay. And, you know, like I said, that storm that we had, Helene, that came this way was disastrous, and there is so much debris that's still out there. They're working really hard to get rid of it and clean it up, so that's awesome, but it might not all be gone. So if you're like, I'm gonna stay, and they say, oh, run from water, hide from wind. I'm all like, run from both, because hey, if there's some debris that didn't get picked up, then I don't want to be anywhere near it. Most people don't have the money to have hurricane windows unless you're in new construction or you just redid stuff on your house. Hurricane strength windows might, help protect that debris from flying through your window. But I mean, for me, I'm not taking a chance. Okay. That's just me. Um, Gas. We went out last night. We've gone out a few times, obviously, before this even got to this scariness. But we got our gas filled up. We've got gas containers filled up. Last night, Tammy topped off the truck. And this morning, she actually went out and got some other gas on her way to work in some of our containers, that we have extra containers. And because everywhere around here this morning was out of gas, and several places were out of gas last night. That's not saying that there's a gas shortage. It's just, we're going through it pretty quickly. So get prepared. You still have time, not much time, but still have time. Get cash. Cash is king. You know, Make sure that you have um, your what was I going to say? Oh, make sure that you have your ID, especially. I'm going back to the ID, because if you once you evacuate and you want to go back in, you're definitely going to need your ID to get back to your property. So you want to make sure you have that ID with you. And I just want to tell you guys that when I was down here in the early 90s, Hurricane Andrew hit, and I drove down there afterwards. I was over staying in Treasure Island, which is pretty much destroyed now, on vacation, and went there. And what blew me away was that instead of trees being upright like this, they were this way. That's how strong the winds were. Okay. The destruction was inland. It wasn't, just on the coast. It was in Homestead, so don't just think, that's why they're saying get out, even if you're in sea. Don't just think that, only if you're, near water, that this stuff can, be destructive to you. It can be destructive wherever you go inland if it's a big enough storm. And it's a freaking, look how big this storm is. I just have this going on in the background. Like I said, this is a couple cameras and the storm radar. And let me see if I've got anything else here. Close that one. That one's up. Yeah, check this out, you guys. We're going to share this one. I want to play this video. Wait, I didn't get it. Okay, so let's go back to this. This is the beaches, and these are people filling up sandbags. Never saw so many white cars as in Florida. That's because it is cooler to have a white car than a dark colored car. Um, oh, it says my browser lost connection. Hopefully, this is still recording okay. But that what I wanted to show you about the mayor of Tampa Bay of Tampa, she literally said, if you don't leave, you're gonna die. You can't get much more direct than that. And I think that you guys need to heed that warning again. It's like, why would you even like mess around with that stuff? I don't even pretend to understand why you would be like, oh, it's okay. So this is the next screen I wanted to share with you. This is showing, hurricane warning. It goes across this freaking state because it is going to hit at what they said, a 3 downgrade to a 1, maybe not until it gets halfway through. So 3, one of the models I saw was hits us 3, goes down to a 2, then off at 1, onto the East Coast, and then out, I think, is probably a tropical storm. But please get out now. Do it now. Traffic's not crazy right now, but believe me, it will be. These are wind gusts. If you think, hey, that's not bad, that's crazy. You can't stand up in that shit. Neither this or this. And this is going to blow your ass around too. I'm telling you. Here it goes. So here we go. Have a little spinning and boom. Okay. It's going to hit in the middle of the night. Always hits at the middle of the night. Probably what I think they said around midnight tomorrow night, Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Okay. Please be prepared. I can't tell you enough that you need to freaking leave. Here we go. This is I-75 right here, and it is getting jacked up. So pack your patience, as they say. Try and be kind to each other. They're opening the shoulders on 275, 75, and 4 to help, alleviate some of the traffic issues. But there's a lot of people in Tampa Bay, and, over 3 million people. There's over probably more than that, really. But years ago, there was over 1 million people just in Pinellas County alone. And it's grown exponentially over the years, especially over the last 3 years, by about 30% more. So that's a lot of freaking people. Okay. Take your animals with you. I heard a clip of a person who said he was being interviewed just this morning. And he said he lives in a mobile home, in a modular home, and or a in a mobile home park. And he said he might have to stay if with his animals. No, get your animals out. Put them in your car. Go. Get out of Dodge, especially in a mobile home park. Sorry, you guys. Even if they're strapped down, those things, you've got your carport, you've got the roof, you've got all these things that are just projectiles, including the home that you live in. So get out of Dodge. Be safe. Be reporting back. We're going to go through the aftermath of this. And just everybody, please be safe. Don't be stupid. Don't be mean. And when I say don't be stupid, don't stay. Just go. If you have farm animals, set your chickens out of the coop. Get them out. They'll go up into the trees. They know what to do. Your horses, your cows, your barn animals. Open the barn doors. Don't leave them in the barn. They will die. Okay. And just for reference, our ceiling is like 8 feet high. If we get a storm surge that is like 10 feet high, we wouldn't even be able to be in here unless you are like, living in a place with those vaulted ceilings. Get out. And even if you are living in a place with vaulted ceilings, Get out. It doesn't matter if you can swim. It's not like you're filling up your bathtub. Water's going to be rushing in. It is the ocean. It is Mother Nature. Don't be fooled. Don't be a fool. Get out of Dodge. Take your dogs, your cats, your birds. Get your crates out. Get them in there. Get a piece of sod if you're afraid that your animal isn't going to be able to go outside. Your dog, they'll pee on a piece of sod. They also have an uncanny way of holding it for a long time. So don't be freaked out. Don't be freaked out if they don't eat right away. They're stressed. You're stressed. Breathe and get out of Dodge. Get out now.